It's Monday and we have to make sense of it. What I want to make sense of is how the fuck did I lose Caiden on her first day of high school? My baby's fine. She's back. Now, some of you know I'm in a narcissistic abusive relationship with my family, specifically my mother and my brother. So, on July 18th, I had an appointment with the school district to register Caiden for school. However, on July 8th, my mother called DMH, Department of Mental Health, to try to have me unnecessarily hospitalized because when she called the police did not make me leave like she wanted to. But her reason for calling DMH was because I said I was going to bust her in her face if she didn't leave me alone. And she doesn't understand boundaries, so she feels like if you're in her house, she should have the right to talk to you, regardless of what your feelings are. And I told her very sternly, you don't leave me the fuck alone, I'm gonna bust you in your shit. That's what I said. And she used that as a reason to call DMH to have me hospitalized. Because the mental health field is full of narcissists, they got someone that came out to the home who was co-signing with the narcissist. When I asked her, in fact, there's a live when I said it doesn't make sense to me, where I said, I'm looking for a shelter for me, my dog, and my daughter to go. All I want her to do is leave me alone until that can be figured out. She doesn't have to talk to me. The DMH professional said that that was unrealistic, which is not true. I've done 15 years of social services, and it is very ethical to instruct people to not talk to each other if the relationship is beyond repair. Our relationship is beyond repair. So the next thing to do is silence and for me to move out, move on. But I didn't get to do that correctly because my mom was trying to manipulate social services to get what she wanted done. Now, when I left on the 8th, I packed up my bags and went and stayed with a friend that was from dance class for about 2 weeks. And then I came back on the 28th because I had an event out here and I needed to re-up on some of my stuff. All my shit was here, right? And so in that process, she ended up giving me a 30-day notice, is why I'm still here underneath the 30-day notice. Per Caiden's request, she asked me through all this mess, she says, Mom, I really want to go to the high school I want to go to. My friends are going there. I want to go. I didn't have anywhere for Caiden to go before school, like another apartment or another school to register her into, so it didn't make sense not to register her. So I went ahead and emailed the school district and asked them to go ahead and permit my mother registering Caiden for school, despite me hating it. My mother registers Caiden for school, but my mother does not properly inform her of how to get home. She doesn't even get her ready enough to catch the bus to school. She's late. She has to be driven to school. And you're saying, well, Charnel, why is your mother doing all these things? Because my mother inserts herself in places. That she doesn't have to be, and does half-assed jobs. And then when it's not done well or done correctly or there's an issue, then she calls me and puts me back in the parental seat when it gets hot. My mother does not see me as Caiden's parent. She sees herself as her parent. There's no DCFS involvement. I am Caiden's parent. However, my mother and my brother's girlfriend does not believe that I should have parental rights. Just like my mother went ahead and registered her and didn't tell me nothing about the registration process. And if I ask for information, she'll go, oh, I can't talk to you because you start yelling. And do things like take my baby to go get her ears pierced without telling me, takes her to go school shopping without involving me. Like, I understand I'm in a place of need because I had trauma happen to me, and so therefore I'm not financially able to take my daughter school shopping. Because of the car accident I had in February, I'm not able to move around like I used to be able to move around. So they're taking these incidents that happened to me in my life to equate that I'm not a good mother or a mother that should have the responsibility of my child. And because of such, my mother kept the information away from me about how Caiden gets to school and stuff. She figures that's her job and she's going to do it. So that's how Caiden got lost. My mother did to Caiden the very same thing she did to me when I was a child. She sent Caiden to school and told her to tell the bus company what street she lived on, and then the bus driver would know. Well, Caiden asked all 7 buses that were there, and all 7 buses did not know what address she was talking about. And my baby ended up having to walk home, a 3.4-mile walk home with textbooks in her backpack in the middle of the heat. It was hot. My baby was tired. What pisses me off the most about this whole situation is I'm asking my mother, because they don't let me know. First of all, I want to show you how divinely connected I am with God. I didn't even know my baby was missing, but I was on live manifesting a new life for us, which you can go watch the lives, manifesting a new life for us. And I was praying about keeping my spirit with her. No matter where she is, I will cover her. This whole time, my mother's out there looking for her and not telling me that she can't find my daughter. They don't involve me until an hour and a half later, after Caiden was supposed to be home from school, that they can't find her. And I'm asking my mother, well, did you properly inform her? That's the first thing that goes in my mind. As someone who's dealt with social services and children that are missing, I know the first 24 hours are important. If you don't find your child within the first 24 hours, it's slim chances that you're going to find them, right? So I'm trying to put myself in my baby's headspace. What is she thinking? Where is she going? You know, is there a boy? I'm like, my baby's not even, she don't even get down like that. This is the first day of high school. Like, she don't even know nobody to be dipping off like that. Like, that's not my baby. And so then I looked at my mom and I'm like, did you tell her what bus to take to get home? And my mother is doing everything in her power not to answer that question. There's a live where I repeatedly asked the same question. And the purpose of me trying to get an answer from that question was to confirm what type of headspace my daughter was in, because I'm like, if she didn't know what bus to take, she's probably walking. But my mother wouldn't give me that peace of mind. And she also would not take me to go looking. She drove around the city looking for my daughter. My brother drove around looking through the city looking for my daughter. But they left me here in this house and then picked me up and took me to my grandma's house and left me there. And said, oh, we were helping you to take me look. No, you didn't help me go take look. We didn't go drive around no corners. You took me from your house to your mama's house. So that's how Caiden came up missing, is because I have a severe mental illness that requires me to need support. But the people around me that are trying to support me do not have boundaries. They're poor boundary setters. And because they're poor boundary setters, they're trying to push me out of Caiden's parental dynamic. And you're going to say, well, how are you saying that they're doing that? One, taking her to go get piercings without my consent or my knowledge. Thirdly, doing things like, oh, I can't find your child. I'm going to let you know, but I'm going to go do all the driving and I'm not going to take you. What sense does that make? That's my baby. And then got the nerve to tell me to stop yelling. The fuck? I got mad all over again just thinking about that. Like, stop yelling. You can't find my kid. The fuck you mean stop yelling? That don't even make sense. If you want to see this happen in real time and how I found out and the lives from that day when we were looking for Caiden, you can go over to my Facebook. There's a playlist. How the fuck did you lose Caiden? And then you can go and watch the lives from that playlist and you can come up with your own conclusion and see it happening in real time, unedited. All right. So also the watch time does help me as a content creator. So if you're looking for ways to support me, that's definitely one way to support me. Also, liking this video too.